Good afternoon, everybody. I may stream again later today. I didn't go earlier live. I was resting. I also looked at the markets, and uh, I was basically, uh, I was basically like streaming, but without going live. If that makes sense. I was doing what I would normally do, but I just didn't press the live button. So I can just show you quickly. I do have to leave my house in like 20, 30 minutes, so I don't have long. I'm gonna show you my weekly bias and my daily expectations. So for the weekly bias, these are the three pairs that I have high interest in. DXY is obviously one of them. But let's start with DXY. So with DXY, I'm bullish. Why am I bullish? Well, for one, we have this weekly fair value gap here that we've drawn, and on the daily time frame, we've dipped into this, and we are seeing a reaction. And not only did we dip into this, like here we tagged. Here we had a deep retracement below the 50% mark, which is this vague gray line. So the Wednesday last week was the first time we went below this midway point, which is this line right here, right? That midway point, the first time we went below it. So we distributed, well, we filled up most of it. We were starting to get that reaction. We've also been bullish. We've had this kind of bullish shape in terms of the longer or larger kind of shape. So from, you can even argue all the way back down in January, the whole year we've been bullish. Obviously, we've had bearish legs and bearish, bearish days, potentially weeks, but we are for the most part bullish. So we're bullish on the weekly. For you can see here on the weekly time frame, it tagged deeply into that fair value gap and closed above it in that same week. So this new week open, we have this swing high we want to take out, and obviously this weekly fair value gap target overall. So we do have some targets with EU and GU. If we were to look at here, we have this weekly fair value gap here, and we've tagged into it here. The only thing is we didn't tag into it more than halfway, but we tagged into it. And when we tagged into the fair value gap over here, we ended up closing around this kind of shape here, which is where the bodies have kind of been staying in between for a while. It's also an outside there. What does that mean? Well, we've taken out liquidity of both to the buy side and sell side. So I'm expecting a bit of movement here, a bit of a larger movement on this week. I'm also bearish because, again, the shape is bearish. We're bullish up here, and we've taken out swing low, swing low, swing low, and this is a key one that we've taken out. We traded below, closed below over here, right? So I am bearish for the most part. On the daily time frame, obviously we've only had one day contributing to this week. What I was expecting is for it to take out liquidity and then go down. So this is the current high of the week. When we're very bearish or very bullish, the high could be formed by as early as Monday. We now also have produced a fair value gap here. So I haven't looked at the markets in the past 4 hours. So I probably saw it around about here. I was waiting for price to take out this high right here, which would have been yesterday's high. I mean, yeah, yesterday's high is that black line. So I would have expected, well, not yesterday, but like yesterday, Friday, would have been over here, taking off this, and then a drop is what I was expecting. And the reason why I was expecting that is because on GU, we have these equal highs here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches of equal highs. So for the fact that I'm bearish, I want price to take out liquidity and then go down, as you can see by this red arrow. But instead of going back down straight, we had this initial push, came up close to it, and then we started to drop down. NZU was also another one that had a similar shape, equal highs here. I wanted to take out and then go back down. This one's also quite bullish. I expected it to actually do it, but it only created equal highs. So what's my posture right now? So my posture right now is, although we've had that initial drop, London session took out Asia highs, we have taken out this liquidity in a way. So I was thinking, although I was waiting for price to take out this liquidity, which is the daily high, we did technically take out all this liquidity from the past kind of weeks. So there is some, value in this London sweep. We didn't displace immediately on this time frame. I think on the 50-minute, we didn't displace in this leg, but we displaced in the next leg. Displacement upwards, involvement is quite a big factor. That okay, we had this displacement first, then we had the displacement downwards after, tagged back into it, and then we dropped throughout New York. that delivery was possible. So once I saw this, I'm like, okay, well, I can't really get in. And I think the last time I looked at the market was around here. So I was like, okay, yeah, technically you can get in as a continuation, but I don't know if price will continue. So I wanted to say, you know, let's just wait for today, and then we can get back in tomorrow. We've also come back down to this 1406 level, which is an institutional level. You can see here the body respected it, and though we were below it, I now expect the price to retrace. Whether that retracement only comes up to a fair value gap or if it targets liquidity, I don't know once for certain. The reason why I don't know for certain is because price targets rebalancing price through fair value gaps and also targets liquidity before it makes its moves. So the fact that we've grabbed this liquidity from previous days, it could be enough. This is liquidity. As you can see, it's the fair value gap. The low, greater equal high swept it. So it could be that liquidity sweep that takes us all the way down to our targets. Or we could potentially go back up. Like I said, I wasn't going to get into this knowing that we have this daily high over here. Now, it's not technically it's equal highs, but it's just over 2 hours. And the main thing was GU. GU is the most bullish of the three, well, of the two, between GU and EU. So if this is bullish, it should at least take out market structure, or liquidity, which it didn't. That's why I wasn't really that interested in the fact that how can GU that's bullish not take out bullish buy side liquidity. So right now, retail seems to be winning. But whenever that's the case, I think that simply means that something big is about to happen. Because if retail's winning, when institutions get involved, they win bigger. So I expect bigger movements. That's my expectations. Now, remember, we have about 80% of the time so far. We haven't added any data points to what we've already done. I think we established this like last week. But currently, the stats are this. Okay, it's Monday 1 p.m. in terms of New York time. So by Tuesday midnight, which is basically by the end of this day, would have formed a high if we're bearish 66.67% of the time. So if we are bearish, which is what my belief, this is the high that will not get taken out for the rest of the week. There's a 66% chance that this is the high formed if by the end of the day price doesn't go back up, which is unlikely. So by Tuesday though, which is Tuesday morning, so when I go to sleep and wake back up, by that time, if this high still hasn't been taken out, so if the morning tomorrow we don't get that push upwards to take out liquidity, we have an 81% chance that we've formed the low or the high already, and then this liquidity is going to be intact. So with that information there alone, we can then start to plan for continuation. That's why I'm not looking for continuation on a Monday, because Monday is not is probably less than 50% chance, or it's a 50-50 if this high is going to be the high that's intact. So, and don't forget as well, that's assuming I'm correct for about the weekly bias. So there's a lot of assumptions, and whenever I have layered assumptions, I'm either going to be careful or I'm going to wait until I have more information. So by Tuesday or by tomorrow we get a big boost in information. So that's partially why I didn't enter in the way I would have. So that is my posture for today. There was no trades showing in my Telegram. So there's no trades I took today. I just looked at the market and I saw what was happening. That was it. And I'm focused on DXY for this week. The day, maybe let's say something's not clear for over the next 2 days, I may pivot by Wednesday if I don't have a trade to other pairs where I can start looking for other information or other pieces of kind of data and look for other opportunities. But as of now, that is my posture. And day 1 of the week, we have a bearish push. And we've created, in my opinion, equal highs right here. So if you go, the high over here is 34809, 3481. It's 0.1 pip difference, basically. So I don't know if that's enough for me. That's not, no, I do know it's not enough for me to classify as a liquidity sweep. So yeah, that's why the green line means liquidity. Green line could either mean liquidity intact, but this green line here is swept. As you can see, price went above it. Now this one is intact. So 2 things. One, we could be bullish and then we're just creating the low of the week, and then this is the actual target. 2, for bearish, we could actually have tomorrow a sweep of it, or we could just a pullback and a continuation, and that's just a high intact for next week maybe. But yeah, there's a lot of ifs, and that's why I didn't trade. But anyway, it's been your boy CJ Ansi. I'll be live, of course, tomorrow. Maybe today. If we're doing today, it'll just be things like getting more data points so we can get better numbers for this. Also, how many is there? 49. Okay, 47, sorry. Cool. So yeah, keep in tune. We need to update this. But yeah, we will be for sure. For sure. Live tomorrow. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.